Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Welcome to the Must Love Yarn podcast.
Mm-hmm.
It is Thursday.
September 20th.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
And September is on its way out the door.
I know.
However that happened.
It's crazy.
So this is a knitting, yarn, fiber, random podcast from our yarn shop in Shelburne, Vermont.
Mm-hmm.
And you can find the store out on all forms of social media as Must Love Yarn.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. And I don't know who I am today. I am Angela.
And I'm Kelly.
And you can find me out on social media, Instagram and Ravelry as a JRBIRDKID.
And you can find me on Instagram as KELLYOSPINS. And you can find me on Ravelry as KELLYSPINS.
Yep. And please feel free to follow or friend us or the store on any of those social media platforms.
Yep.
The store has yarn and store related content.
Sometimes events and things like that. But
store related content.
It's all
But our personal Instagram, there may be different other things on there that besides knitting stuff, but a lot of knitting stuff.
Primarily.
Yeah.
Mine is primarily knitting with a little bit other stuff thrown in.
Yeah. And wine on mine. And kids.
Mine is animals
and animals.
Nature and
Yeah.
events and activities.
People got to see one of my three cats on Instagram this last weekend.
I didn't see it.
One of my kitties came to visit me while I was knitting. And would not be shooed away.
Oh.
So I was like, I'm going to take your picture. And then she started doing what cats do, which was like, it's going to steal my soul, stop. But then she wouldn't get off my lap still.
Oh, that's
Cats
funny.
are weird.
Cats are weird. They really are.
So weird.
That's okay. It keeps things interesting for sure.
Yes, it does. So we, among just Kelly and I chit-chatting and, talking about stuff like the weather, which is totally not related to knitting at all. We like to start...
But we're New Englanders, and that's what we do.
Yeah, that's what we do. Get much about the weather. The weather.
Because it changes all the time.
Yep,
so,
it does.
Yeah.
It does.
That keeps things interesting, too.
Yes, it does. It does. So we like to start our podcast with our picks of the week. And so every week we pick a product or two, and with a coupon code, we will give you 10% off of the item in store or on our online store for 2 weeks following the release of the podcast.
Yep.
And if you have any questions on where the code goes or how to do that, we did a tutorial in episode 73. So take a look at that if you're not sure. Feel free to send us an email or call us if you're having trouble. But the bottom line is, if the discount is not showing in your cart, it hasn't been applied, and we can't credit after the fact. So make sure that before you hit submit, and as we explained in the tutorial, if you're paying with like PayPal, I think it sends you to PayPal and then you come back and then there's the spot to put the coupon code in.
Yeah.
So that can mess people up sometimes.
Yeah. It's
a weird sequence.
It is. A lot of people's merchant sites, that's how they do that. So.
Yeah. So that's the only little glitchy thing. But we do explain that in episode 73, which is why we keep sending people back there to watch it. So,
exactly.
Anyway.
And the coupon is good on in-stock items, which I don't know if Ange said.
I did not say in-stock. But I know we have a lot of new viewers, so every once in a while it's good to just do a quick refresher.
Yep.
And reminder.
Definitely.
So we have a joint pick for you guys this week.
Because it's a bigger one.
It's a big one. Don't worry. It's super fun.
It is really fun.
Super fun. And I think we can just do the super easy coupon code too.
Me
right?
too. I agree.
Yeah. You know where I'm going with this.
I do know where you're going with this.
Weekly Pick American. No, I'm just kidding. So the coupon code is going to be
right here.
Right in front of Kelly. Weekly Pick Regia.
Regia.
Regia. We get some regia for you guys.
We do. So we've got we've had some of the 8-ply, which is a worsted weight before. These are 150 gram skeins, so you can knit a full pair of socks out of them. But we brought in some new colors which are really fun in those. The 8-ply worsted retails for $19.99 typically, before the coupon is applied. And then the other thing that we've got are the sock yarns, which we've showed you guys these before.
Sorry, I'm just blocking Kelly's head.
I don't care. There's talking yarn.
Talking yarn
on the screen. That could be the title, Talking Yarn.
Talking yarn. That's a good one.
Isn't that, yeah.
Talking yarn. I know, and the yarn.
And the yarn. So that, I love these new marled ones. So this is one, and then there's the other one.
This one?
This one here.
This one.
That's a marled one as well. And those are really fun. And I think we have a few other colors coming as well, but they're really cute. So these are 10% off, and then the regular sock weight ones are. The other ones that I didn't pull that are also from Regia are the Wool in the Gang series. They did the cat print ones. Those are included, and so is the Tutti Frutti, which is the cotton blend.
Basically any of our Regia.
Yeah, and if you follow it through the link, it's going to take you to all of the available ones that we've got. Yep. So we've had these in the past. We've totally restocked on the Fair Isle ones. These are the Arnie and Carlos Perfect. So you can make two identical socks out of a skein. So this is one of the Fair Isle ones. But we also got in some new colorways, and they are not part of the Perfect. They're just they are self-striping, but they're a little bit more randomized. So they have the color numbers on them. This is not showing them great because of the glare. But they are self-striping, and but they're I really like the way that they are striping.
It's an interesting, more of a sort of more
painterly,
subtle,
look to it. So I really like the way that those are coming out. So we've got right now I think 6 colors in stock. I love that one. It reminds me of like copper, and then the patina it gets.
Yep.
So there's that one. This one's really pretty too. They actually sent us a sock that was knit up in one of the colorways. So you can see kind of how it patterns. So they're really fun.
That is fun. Different.
Yeah, it is. Yeah. So we've got a lot of colors in those, and this is Festival is the name of this particular line, Festival Color. So you can look it up under that one. So like I said, these are not the part of the Perfect, but they're just really fun ones. And then there's more coming in October that are going to be really fun. And those are like a true, like a 1-inch stripe of different colors.
Color.
And there's some rainbow ones that are really fun. They're brand new for this year.
Wow. Nice.
They're really, really awesome. I can't wait to get them. So those, and I'm pretty sure they're coming October, so it'll be a little while before we have those.
Yep.
But those will be fun for gifts, or if you want to crank out a quick pair for somebody for the holidays.
Literally crank out a pair.
Well, I can, yeah, I sure can. And these are really fun too. I like these. And these are Perfect. They're not the Arnie and Carlos Perfect, but they're just the regular Perfect. And we've got a lot of different combos of that particular one.
Nice.
And then we do have these self-patterning ones, and these are part of the Arnie and Carlos, as you can see, because there's Arnie and Carlos. So those are really fun too.
Nice.
So yeah, you guys stock up on your sock yarns, whether you want to do a nice quick thick pair. That worsted weight is also great for baby garments because it does the self-striping, so that's really fun. You can do a hat, mittens, if you want some really quick and easy gifts. Those are really fun to use for that, and they're generous size skeins since they're the 150 gram skeins. So and the regular fingering weight sock yarn are $17.50 a skein, if I didn't say that.
Nice.
Yeah,
you didn't, but excellent. It's a pretty good value for what you get.
Yeah.
So I have my show notes are kind of in disarray. I started them and then just like I don't know what was going on. So I am actually wearing some hand knits today because it was pretty cold at
It was cool this morning.
bus stop this morning, and then it's kind of warmed up a little bit, and I don't know what it's doing out there.
Yeah, we're actually got a warm front. I said I wasn't going to talk about the weather, but we have a warm front that's moving in. It's supposed to get really, really windy.
Yeah.
And it's supposed to be like almost 80 tomorrow. But then it's going to drop back down and be like 62 for a high on Saturday.
So weird.
I know.
So I am wearing my, I think that's Margarita. Margarita's cardigan by Thea Coleman. It's got a nice lace
Panel in the
lace
back.
panel. I've got pictures of it up on the Ravelry website. I won't distract you with me trying to acrobat myself. So
Is
you can
it
see the back.
showing? Can you see my back?
No, it's got a nice lace pattern on the back. It's a great sort of transition piece. You know, you can wear it. I tend to wear it over long sleeved shirts. It's a heavier. I want to say it's like a worsted weight yarn, and so it's a little heavy to wear like just in the summer.
Yeah.
Most of the time.
Good transitional
But
piece.
it's a great transitional piece.
Yeah.
I did have my On the Spice Market shawl is that On the Spice Market? Yeah, On the Spice Market shawl on earlier today, but I took it off because I was getting too hot. And then it was cool enough today that I've got socks on.
Excellent. I have socks on, but they're not hand-knit socks.
Hand-knit
Or even
socks.
hand-crank socks.
So those are all my hand knits along with my wrist ruler, which has been getting a lot of wear. I've been wearing it a lot. I don't ever use it.
I've used mine.
Have you used yours?
I've used mine. Yep.
I have not yet.
Yep. It's great. I've used it in a pinch.
That would be...
I mean, mine.
Oh, yeah.
I've got a 15-inch one, so you can only, measure 15 inches at a time. But for most hand knits, unless you're measuring like a really long, like from an underarm down or something, you're not gonna.
Hey, but even some of those only have to be like 14 inches.
I
So
know,
you just hang
coming
and be
under the
like,
wire.
is it close enough?
I know, right?
Close enough? Because mine's what is mine?
Probably 15 or 16. You've got small wrists. So.
15, 14, 15 inch. Yeah,
Yeah.
no, 15 inch too.
Yeah.
So anyway, I did finish Abigail's socks, the
Nice.
pink striped ones. I think I just had the toe to do, or just had the Kitchener the toe last week. I don't know.
Yes.
I didn't have very much to do, but they are done, and they have been washed, and I didn't bring them with me. They're at home.
No.
But you guys saw them last week,
Yeah.
so they look the same.
Except for Kitchener toe.
Except the toe's closed. And then I promptly cast on a new pair of socks, because like you do. And you might recognize this yarn for a couple reasons. One, it matches the socks that I just showed you that were on my feet.
I know. I was just gonna say. I'm like, that was the same yarn.
It is. You might also recognize it because I was attempting to knit a pair of shorty socks for myself, and got to the toe of the first one and went, yeah, there's no way you're gonna get a second sock out of this. So
you had a lot of great recommendations from people
did.
about
I
things
did.
you could do, but ultimately you decided.
ultimately,
Now you can be matchy-matchy with them again.
I know. I put this all aside because I was like, I don't want to think about this right now. And then when I finished the tube sock for her, and I was like, well, that didn't actually use a huge amount of yarn. What else do I have? I was like, oh, I have that yarn. So I ripped the sock out and recaked it, and now it's going to become tube socks.
Excellent.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I have enough for 2 tube socks. If I'm concerned, I can do the toes in a different color.
Yeah.
But the toes on those socks don't take that much yarn anyway. I did find my second set. I knew I had 2 sets of US 1.5s, and I found the other set because it was on those socks. So here's my 2. So now I'd have to cast on another pair of socks
because you found some empty needles.
Found some empty needles.
That's great.
I know. And since apparently I have like 7 or 8 or 20 skeins of Into the World sock yarn, and if I want to buy any more, it might I need to use some of the stuff I have. I might want to start knitting some socks for like myself. I don't know.
Right.
My kid gave me a cold, so if I sound a little coughy or congested, that would be why.
There's a lot of people. Of course, school's been back in for a few weeks now, so everybody's getting sick.
Yep, and the weather's been up and down, which doesn't help as well. So, yeah, she had like a runny nose for like a day, and I have not that for longer.
That's always the way it goes.
That's the way it works.
Yep.
Yep. So I think the rest of the stuff, well, okay, so I already kind of started talking about my works in progress. Work in progress. You have a new work in progress.
I do have a new work in progress. So I went to the Webb's retreat over the weekend that my mother-in-law last year and this year so kindly got me for a combined birthday and Christmas present.
Awesome.
I know, it's amazing.
It's so cool.
So we headed down, and I had some really great classes. So the piece that I am now working on, which is tiny, so it does have a provisional cast on, so just ignore the purple at the bottom. But this, and it's hard to tell because it's a scarf that's knit the long way, and you're making fringe as you go because you're pulling out some of the yarn, one section of the color of the yarn, and you're knotting it, and then you go back and you turn it into regular fringe. So I took a couple of classes with Laura Bryant, and one of the classes that I took was intentional. What was the title of the class? It's basically how to use how to do intentional pooling of your hand-dyed yarns, and it was a fantastic class. So the project that I'm doing now is actually based on that. You're doing intentional pooling, so you can see there's a section of green here, there's a section of blue and teal that are overlapping here, and then that it does that all the way across, and that's the yarn. So and it's going to have also incorporate this yarn. So I'll show you a picture of the pattern. Might be easier to see on this one. So this, so basically where the blue and the violet are here is where my blue and my teal are, and then my green section is where her gray section is, and then this section here, which is kind of just a semi-solid gray, is going to be this, which is a 4-color, and she had one knit up with a 3-color, like what the body of mine is, and what this one is also a 3-color, and then using a 4-color as the small stripe in between, and also for the I-cord bind off on both sides because you do the provisional cast on. So, and it looked so cool. So I'm hoping mine turns out half as cool as the one that she had there. So she, Laura Bryant, is the owner of Prism Yarn, if you're not familiar with her, and we did some really cool stuff in class. So one of the other things that we did, this is part of that same class where you do intentional color pooling, and you can create some really cool patterns, like a checkerboard like this. And then just by changing it by one stitch, you get an argyle pattern. Isn't that cool?
It's amazing.
So this yarn is dyed in a particular fashion, and she has coined the phrase. So she was a weaver for many, many years and still does some weaving. And so if you've heard of ikat weaving, it's a very particular kind of weaving. And somebody said to her quite a while ago when she first was dyeing and she had written a pattern, your knitting looks like ikat weaving. So now she will intentionally dye yarns that you can do this kind of knitting with, which is really fun. So basically you need a yarn that is regularly patterned or dyed in chunks. And it was just a really cool class. So this particular yarn is dyed in that fashion. So you've got a chunk of purple, 2 chunks of white, and then this kind of bluey purple color. So this, you can get this kind of, and do some other really, really cool things with.
Some of the regular self-striping yarns are dyed like that in chunks.
Exactly. And so you can do some really fun things. So you don't have to do something that has cream in it either. You can do, so this is rolling because it is just all stuck in it. But this is a half argyle pattern, and you have to do a little bit of math and a little bit of swatching. I know, right? But you can get some really cool effects by playing with skeins that are regularly dyed like that. So they have to have, you know, the chunks of yarn, and you have to kind of sit down and work out some of the numbers. But it's not that challenging, and it's just, you can get some really fun patterns. You have to pay a little bit of attention while you're doing it, but you get these really neat techniques. So nice. Of course, with this kind of thing, you can only do kind of like rectangles or squares, because the minute you introduce an increase or decrease, it's going to throw that whole pattern off. So, you know, if you're going to use this in sweater making, you could do like the panels, but then for arms, you'd have to have like gussets in a solid or semi-solid to be able to do your increases and decreases, unless you were making a really boxy piece that was literally just rectangles of the yarn.
There are some patterns out there like that.
Yes, there are. Yeah. So it was a really super class. That was one of the classes that I took. This is Laura's book, Artful Color and Mindful Knits. And she signed it for me, of course, which is really nice. I really wanted to get, she had some kits available for this jacket. This is just the prettiest jacket. And she was wearing one in like blues and greens, and then she had this one there, and it is stunning. So eventually, but I mean, you can see the really cool technique. This is kind of that same argyle look on this piece, and you can see she added the gussets in on the sides. But this one panel is knit all using that argyle patterning technique. So
that is cool.
So yeah, so it was really, really fun. And then I took another one of her classes, which was kind of the opposite of this class, which was, you know, how to interrupt your yarn so that you don't get those really weird pooling looks. So she had some very, very variegated yarns, and just by, you know, blending yarns. So this, I used 3 colors of yarns that I was knitting with. This section is 3 colors. This section here is just one of those colors changed out. So you can really make a whole piece that looks completely different just by, you know, switching out your yarns. And then this was another one. This is just 2 yarns, and by using a pattern stitch, you break it up even more. So there are some really, really cool techniques that I learned and put to use in those. And her yarn is really amazing too. So so it was really fun. So I'm not very far on this scarf yet, but it's a lot of fun, and you know, it's really just knitting, but you do have to pay attention a little bit where the color changes happen, so that your colors will stack up, and you do have a little bit. See, you can see where the blue and the green, because they're not super hard lines where they begin and end. You have to kind of make a call as to what qualifies as green and what qualifies as blue. So we'll see if I may have to go back and readjust my numbers a little bit. But it's a lot of fun, and you can do some really cool techniques with that. So
nice.
So I highly recommend, if you ever see her doing a class somewhere, I highly recommend it. And she's got some other color classes too, where you're just working with different colors, which is neat. So
nice.
Yeah, I thought it was really fun. So you can see I did spend a little bit of money at Webb's, and I bought some of Laura's yarn just so I can play around with it a little bit. So
cool.
Yeah.
That's a fun part of going other places, you know, other yarn shops or festivals and things, is to see what's new and what's something that, like, we don't have in the store or that we haven't come across yet. Like, that's, I mean, that's part of why we go. We are actually technically working when we go to Rhinebeck, even though we're having fun.
Yeah, we do, because we network with a bunch of places. Sometimes you see new and upcoming dyers or vendors,
or patterns, like what kits are hot, like what are people wearing, you know, it just gives you a lot of inspiration being there. But, so I put a couple of inches on Zwag, and let's see, so all right, so it's the guy's going upside down. So this is where I was last week, and now I'm here. And I've slowed down working on it a little bit. I did try it on this last weekend. And the length was pretty good. I think that I can switch over to the ribbing at pretty much any time. So I'm just finishing up the second row of the cable pattern, and then I'm probably going to knit a couple rows of just plain stockinette and then start the ribbing for the bottom edge. I had a lot of awesome suggestions from folks about how to deal with sort of this wild skein color variation that I have. You know, granted, the classic thing is just to either fade it in or to alternate skeins. I try my very hardest to not have to do that. It's kind of a pain to knit with two skeins at once, to alternate back and forth. And then I'm also waiting for our 12-inch 5 US 5 Zing circulars to come back into stock.
They should be in next week, hopefully.
Okay, good. Because
for sleevage,
I want to do the sleeves on those to give those a whirl. So I kind of had just rolled back a little bit of the work, the time that I had been spending on this, and started on a different project because I can't help myself. So this is coming. I'm gonna have some car time this next weekend, so I may have to figure out which project I want to take, whether it's this one or the other sweater that I started, or that third sweater I took camping with me that I have not worked on at all. I'm gonna have to do my own, like, you know, works in progress along. So I guess I have another mini finished object. I have a swatch.
Woohoo!
I had to go down to 6s.
Did you really?
I'm still not getting gauge
Really?
on 6s. But it was close enough.
That was on 6s?
That's on 6s.
Really?
Yeah.
For you?
Yeah.
That's 6s?
Yeah.
It does not look like it was done on 6s. It looks more like it was done on 8s.
I know. That was done on 6s.
Wow.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on.
Huh.
Yeah.
I would have never guessed that was on 6s.
Yeah. That's giving me 9 stitches per inch. 9 stitches per 2 inches.
Okay.
Yeah, 9 stitches
That
per
makes
2
more
inches.
sense.
Gauge is 9 1/4 stitches per 2 inches.
Okay.
So I didn't want to go down to 5s. The 6s actually already hurt my hands.
Really?
Yeah.
Gosh, that looks so loose for... That's really interesting.
Isn't that interesting?
Yeah. Especially for as tight as you knit.
And that's been washed. I think it relaxed a bit.
I was going to say it must have. I was going to ask you if it was washed because it has really loosened up.
So here's the...
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. That did relax. Because look at how tight your stitches are there. And then they're so relaxed here. Oh, interesting. So that's how much of a difference.
That's why blocking matters. And blocking your swatch matters. So I cast on for throwback.
Look at the difference. Look how relaxed these stitches are. And look how, like, very uniformly tight those are. That is really wild.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's a good example of that.
So I feel like I'm having that, like, owl issues that you were... Because I've been finding, like, my hand has been cramping. And I've been getting these weird pains in my hand, and I'm like, what could that be from? And I think it's from knitting worsted weight on US 6s. Isn't that weird?
Yeah.
But anyway, so I love my color choices.
It's beautiful.
It's pretty subtle, but just that blast color just pops. Hello. So
you haven't used the lighter purple yet, right?
Yeah, it's in the middle there. So 1, 2, that's just those 3 colors.
Oh, I thought you had a 4th. No 4th? Oh, okay.
Yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4.
Oh.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
It's pretty.
So there's 2 purples in there, and then the white.
Nice.
So apparently I cannot... Apparently my word is apparently today. I can't pick a sweater that has less than, like, I don't know, 700 stitches by the time you get to the arm sleeves. It's a worsted weight sweater. I'm at like 250 some stitches on the needles. And I think there's still
this fabric.
Isn't that nice?
It's really lovely.
So
That's so funny.
that should relax like that, because it's super tight now, and I'm looking at it like, I don't know that I like this fabric, but then I look at that and I'm like, it's great.
Yeah, so I think it's really this is really, really soft, and it's
Super
got some
soft
nice
and-
drape to it. Not like too much for a sweater, but enough.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
going to be lovely.
Yeah.
That's so funny.
Isn't that amazing?
Yeah.
Okay, so that's why blocking matters, guys.
I'm washing and
washing.
treating your swatch like you're going to treat your sweater. Yeah.
Isn't it fun? Like there's so many increases on this row. It actually made like a ridge.
It did.
And you can see the point where you made. But anyway, it's fun. It still goes quick. I definitely, color work on the purl row is interesting. I know there's a few rows where there's 3 colors that you're working at the same time. I'm not looking forward to those rows, particularly on the purl side, but I'm doing okay.
Yeah.
I'm doing okay. This is not bad. I've managed to do this pretty much this week after my kids have gone to bed.
Nice.
And I only had one instance where I couldn't count. The nice thing about color work is you figure out pretty quickly. And I'm more of just I'm like 1 stitch short, or I have 1 stitch too many. Oh, I'm just going to knit those 2 together. I'm not ripping out that whole row.
Yeah.
Because it's not going to really bother me.
Yeah, as long as it's done where it's not going to interrupt the color work.
Nope.
It's fine.
And I had one row when I was starting the new color work chart where for some reason I thought that I was 2 stitches short. I can't count. So I added a stitch at the one end, and then when I got to the other end, I was like, I had 1 extra stitch, so I didn't need to add that. So I have an increase on one end and a decrease on the other end. I didn't need to do any of that.
Oh, yeah.
But it's fine. So it makes it exciting. It's an adventure.
Knitting by the seat of her pants again.
Always knitting by the seat of my pants. It's fun. Totally fun. So
That's nice. I really like the way that blocked out. I still can't believe that's on 6s. That's
that was
unbelievable.
6s. It was like unheard of.
Yeah.
I used to be a tight knitter. Maybe I'm not stressed out anymore. Ha ha.
Lately?
Ha ha. I don't know. I guess my gauge gets looser when I'm stressed out.
Unlike everybody else.
Unlike everybody else. Who knows?
So, I have made lots of progress on March.
Yeah.
Look at this big.
Whoa.
I know, and look at all these hanging down because when you do the front, you're working each side at the same time, but with 2 balls of yarn because you actually do bind off some stitches for the neckline. And I'm doing short rows, so it's going to be a little bit hard to show you guys because obviously within short rows, you're not gonna have all the stitches out on a nice straight line because of the short rows. So I will try to show you.
Do you need another extra set of hands?
I think I can get it. So this is the front. All right, you guys. That's where I was last week when I saw you. So it's really knitting so incredibly fast. Of course, size 10 needles and a worsted weight yarn. It's a nice, lovely, loose, relaxed fabric. So this is a long, oversized more tunic length style sweater, and it's oversized through the body, so it's going to be so cozy. But so I can kind of show you. There is the neckline and the decreases for the neckline because you do pick up and you have a big cowl neck in this for this sweater.
Nice.
And there is short row shaping for the shoulders, which I don't know if you can really see. It's a little bit harder to pick up. So the short rows are happening over there. There you can see all the breaks for the short rows. So I think I've got like 4 more rows doing the short rows and the neck edge, and then I think I put this on holders, and you do a 3 needle bind off for the shoulders. So after I do that, then I obviously have to come back over here. Here are my back stitches, so they're way down here, and I'm gonna have to knit the back up and do the same short row shaping. Obviously you don't have to do the neckline like you would for the front of the sweater. So this is going to be a really long sweater. I knew it was going to be tunic length, and at one point I was worried because I'm like, I don't think this is going to be long enough, so if I want to wear it with like skinny jeans or leggings or something, I'm like, I want it to cover my butt, you know? But then
I think you're going to be fine.
I think I'm going to be fine because I was holding it up and I'm like, wow, look at that. So the pocket linings are still not sewn in yet, so that's why you can see this little gaping hole right here. So I have to sew those in, but that's part of finishing. Although I have been, whenever I have to add a new skein of yarn, I've been just knitting like an inch or so and then going back and weaving the ends in. So there's going to be minimal finishing when I get all done. And the sleeves are picked up. You pick up around the armhole edges and you knit them down. So not much finishing involved, just seaming the pocket linings in, and then picking up and doing the collar and picking up and doing the sleeves. So
nice.
It's coming. It's going to be done here soon. Maybe if I'm really cranking, I can have it done for Vermont Sheep and Wool. But then we'll see.
It'll be like 90 degrees.
I know. I'm hoping that it won't be. Because this is just such a lovely, cozy sweater. I can see myself getting so much wear out of this.
Yeah.
I might have to knit a spare.
And another color.
I know, right?
I'll have one in every color.
I know. So
Nice.
it's been a really, really fun knit. So for anybody who was thinking about doing it, I know there's somebody who's thinking about doing it but was intimidated by doing the pockets. It hasn't been bad at all, and it's written really well. So it's a really fast knit. So if you're looking for like a good cozy weekend sweater, check out the Larch by Pam Allen. And the owl it's been lovely to knit with, especially on size 10s. It's just flying, and after this is blocked, it gets that little fuzzy halo, and it's even softer than it is before it's washed. So yeah.
Cool.
I know. I'm really liking this. It's been fun. Even though it's like tons of stock in it, it flies. So it doesn't feel like a slog.
Right.
To get through it. Yep.
Nice.
And that's all of my whipsises at the moment.
Awesome.
Yep.
I've been, normally I'm like, what am I going to cast on? So I've switched gears. Instead of what am I going to cast on, it's like, what am I going to buy yarn for at Rhinebeck? Like, that's my new project lately. Pulling, like, various sweaters, and I want to look for yarn, sweaters quantities of yarn at Rhinebeck, and looking over the vendor list. And
I know. I've been such a sweater knitter lately, which is so funny, and I've been pretty monogamous with my projects, which is really funny too.
I'd like to pick up some more DK or worsted weight yarn and sweaters quantities. I have quite a few sweater quantities in fingering weight.
Yeah, fingering weight I do more so too. Not tons. I think I've got like maybe 2 sweater quantity of fingering weight.
Yeah.
And worsted, I think I've got 3 at home. And then DK, I don't have a lot of DK sweater quantity. I don't know if I have any.
I have 2 in Legacy
I've got
Birds.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that's right. I've got the fiber sash.
Yep.
Yep.
Yep. So
Ooh, Lina Magazine number 6
it's coming out.
goes on sale the 28th of September, which is very exciting. We might even start seeing our copies this week or early next week, but we can't sell them. I'm sorry, you guys. We can't sell them until the 28th. That's when the official release date is. But it means we get to look through them.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, and Making number 6 is coming out, which is the black and white issue. I want to make everything in it, like everything, like the sewing pieces. I want to make the knitting pieces. I want anything that is in that. They sent the press kit a couple weeks ago, and I've been looking through it. Oh my gosh, I want to make everything. There's some really great like sewn fabric totes that look kind of like the really big fringe field supply bag.
Cool.
Like it's kind of almost a mix between their bucket and their bag.
Yeah.
It's really cool.
Oh, that's cool.
So for all of you sewists out there or wannabe sewists,
I'm a wannabe sewist. I want to sew lots of things and I get all the supplies and then I never sew anything.
yeah. Yeah, so check out when making it, number 6 comes. I think it's coming out in October.
Cool.
We're gonna see it soon.
Nice.
But
that's super exciting.
I know. They do such cool things.
Super exciting.
So, and of course, Susan B. Anderson usually has a toy pattern in it, and it's always so
super
adorable.
Cute.
Yeah.
Super cute.
Yeah.
So I have another week of being incredibly good. I've not been ordering anything online. I'm getting ready for Rhinebeck.
I know. So I am going
But
to...
I also did not go to the Webb's retreat, which I probably would not have been able to.
I did really good. So I bought the yarn to do the 2 separate projects.
Mm-hmm.
That was Prism yarn, Laura Bryant's yarn. I did get... I'll show you. I got lots of swag from Webb's too. But I did buy one other thing, which was... It's a holiday colorway. And it took a while to get here because it came from England. This is the one I was telling you I'm probably going to end up making a hat out of because it is a single ply. Although it's lovely, and I could work it into a shawl as well. But I don't know what I'm going to do with it yet. But I'm still thinking hat.
It'd be a good sockhead hat, but there's lots of other patterns.
I know. So what I got is from Stranded Dye Works. She it's her merino singles, and it's called Naughty Lesson. It is her holiday color for this year, and it was really fun. And it just I don't know, that kind of minty. It's not quite teal. It's not quite mint. It's somewhere in between because it has this really deep pops of like a pine green, and then the lighter greens, and then in some places the red is really burgundy, and other places it's more of like a pinkier red, like a cherry red, and I just loved it. So I did succumb to that. So, but it's very rare that I buy holiday yarns. On occasion I do, but it's more, I don't know, I don't typically go for like the red, white, and green ones. It has to be something like a little bit off for that.
Yeah.
I don't know why, it's just the way I am, I guess. So that was the only other thing that I did buy.
Nice.
But we got all kinds of swag from Webb's. Barocco put together, so Andra, who's our sales rep, she is so creative, and she's going to be at our retreat and doing some fun things.
Yeah,
so for anybody who's coming, you get to meet Andra, and she is a very cool lady. She had these enamel pins made.
Nice.
That have Barocco. Little samples of all of their fall yarns that they did for this fall, the new ones. So these are kind of fun.
Nice.
And so every meal just about they have a speaker that comes. So Andra did it one day. Rowan came and did a talk. Stacy Charles came and did a talk. And then there's a late night knitting lounge that's sponsored by Cascade. I won a couple things. One I gave to my mother-in-law because it was more her colorway. But I won a skein of fixation and a little baby hat pattern, which is kind of fun. So I might do this for like the mitten tree and donate that. It would be kind of fun. And then Rowan, they had a bunch of yarn on the table, and they just kind of said, take what you like. So I ended up with alpaca soft DK, which is super, super soft.
Cool.
So let's see. Oh, Laura had some extra yarn from her class, and she's like, oh, here, you guys, you want this? So I was like, yeah. Her yarn is just, she works really hard to source yarn. This is not her yarn, but this is a fiber company. It's Terra, which is a really lovely yarn too. But Laura, for her yarn, she works really hard to source her yarn from responsibly sourced shepherds and mills and things like that. The Blue Sky Fibers gave everybody a skein of their royal alpaca, which is a really lovely, I think it's like 3% of alpaca qualify as royal alpaca because it's based on the micron count. So it's like buttery soft, and they gave us a pattern to go with that. Webb's gave us 2 skeins of Valley Yarns, which one is this? This is the Superwash DK, and they gave us a really cute cowl pattern to go with that. So that was fun. And then we've got Lawrence Laces gave everybody a skein of their fingering weight yarn, and they're all like one of a kind colorways that they gave everybody. So this one was really cool. It has that really bright pop of like the ultramarine color in it. Yeah, I'm telling you guys, they just like give you so much yarn. So this is the Malabrigo Chunky, and this is in the colorway Molly, which I thought was hysterical because my mother-in-law is the one who like gets me the retreat every year, and we go together, and her name is Molly, so I thought that was kind of fitting. And there's a mini skein from, oh gosh, who is this from? Oh, this is Monos. So Monos was one of the companies that came and did a talk.
Nice.
So that's their Pheno, I believe. And there's more. This is from the Fiber Company. This is their Knightsbridge. I actually, ooh, that reminds me. I have a sweater's quantity of this in like this really gorgeous blue color. But yeah, they gave everybody a skein of Knightsbridge.
Cool.
Let's see. Universal Yarns. I gave everybody a skein of their Bulky. This is Deluxe Bulky Superwash. So you guys, you may be seeing some of this yarn as prizes, so because you guys benefit from it too. And then Webs also gave everybody stitch markers. Which, of course, these are the ones that we just got in from Knitter's Pride.
It'll work on your necklace.
That work on, wait for it, work on the necklace. So the necklaces do actually come with some of the stitch markers. They come with 2 sets, the hearts and the little square ones. And they come with 3 styles of cable needles. But yeah, so I wore this one day and I had to stick some of the stitch markers on because they're kind of cute. So yeah. They didn't give me the necklace. That was the one that I had gotten. But, of course, the stitch markers you can use whether you have got the necklace or not. Let's see. Oh, they did this really cool thing with between Webs and Cascade where they gave you a skein of 100% cotton, and they worked with a charity that's down there, and everybody, well, not everybody, but a lot of people made washcloths to donate. Okay, cool. So they did a charity knit, and I did have time to knit one before my hands decided that they didn't want to knit any more cotton. And what else? Oh my gosh, let's see. Oh, look at this little guy. Knitter's Pride does these little needle gauges.
Oh, that's cool.
The only thing is you have to be careful because there's a cutter in the trunk. Yeah. So you'd want to make sure it wasn't just in with your yarn. Can you imagine, like, if you opened up your knitting bag and your yarn was, and like, your cut to pieces? Had
eaten your yarn.
Yeah. So, yeah. Slightly dangerous, but still kind of cool.
You need a muzzle for that elephant.
I know, exactly, right? Yeah, and I do believe there's some other little swag bits too, but oh my gosh, yeah. Nice. Oh, and then Webs does, they do a big canvas bag every year, which is fun. They changed the bottom color. So last year it was green, and then I've got this cool bag from Barocco. And so it's like the nesting dolls.
And then
then there's one from Blue Sky Fibers. So yeah, no, it was great, and the classes were good. I really enjoyed the classes. They always do a really good job with that. Franklin Habit was there again this year. Alistair Post Quinn, who we had to come and do a double knitting class here for us, he was there. Let's see, I took a class with Michelle Hunter, and that was a good class. It was a short row class, so that was really great. So yeah. Nice. It was a lot of fun, and they do a nice job. It happens at Hotel UMass, so everything is like all in one place. Like all of your classes, where you sleep, where you eat, everything is in the same building.
Nice.
But yeah, it was good, and as Ange says, I can do some reconnaissance for our own retreat. No, but
exactly.
You know it. You know what you like about retreats, and you know what you would change for your own. So, you know, it's kind of good to look at it that way too.
Yeah. Well, and there's different types of retreats.
Yes,
You know,
this is
some
very
that are
education driven.
class heavy,
Yeah.
and I know ours we're trying to set to be more sort of relaxing with some activities that are
Yep.
fun.
We're going to do class, but we're also going to have it kind of be laid back, a lot of downtime, because that's what, when we asked everybody for feedback, what they wanted for a retreat, everybody's like, you know, I just want some
to come and
hang out and with people that like doing the same things that I like doing. So, you know, we really listened to that because we wanted to make it something that you guys would want to do. And speaking of retreats, it's filling up, you guys.
I can't believe it. I am so...
All of the singles are completely gone, and the double, triple occupancy rooms are like half gone.
Yep.
So if it's something you're interested in, definitely
don't wait.
think about it sooner rather than later.
You know, I mean, I hatch these harebrained ideas, and sometimes you just never know if people are going to be as excited about them. And I have to say, the Seasons of Vermont box, people have been super excited. We still have a couple of those left
There's not
as
many,
well.
I
didn't do a second follow-up push with the social media because I just haven't really had time to deal with it this week. So there's still a couple of those left if you're interested.
Yeah, so if you thought you completely missed out, there are still some there. And it was, oh my gosh, I love the yarn that Fuse did.
Beautiful.
Yeah, so it was Fuse Fiber who did our yarn this time.
And then the retreat, the tickets or seats for those beds, whatever we're calling it.
Whatever you wanted.
Entrance tickets are selling, and Kelly said, like, the singles are totally gone. The multiple occupancy rooms are about half filled. Yeah. So I really didn't know what to expect and whether people were going to be as excited. I know that requires some travel. We have people coming from all over the country.
All over.
Over the country.
And we have special guests joining us.
We do. So, you know it'll be good. Yeah. No, it'll be good. The marketplace is going to be awesome. It's going to be amazing. Yep. So.
Yep. It's going to be amazing.
So check that out. We still have a few seats left on the Rhinebeck bus as well. And I think our deadline is coming up for that we need to have...
So I think we are close enough that it's definitely going to happen. Okay. I mean, if we have to make up a little bit of difference, it's fine. So we're going to be able to leave registration open until pretty close. But if you want to see, I would recommend still getting your ticket. But the bus is 99% is a go. Yep. So, yeah.
But there's still room. So
there is still room. So
talk your friends into coming.
Yeah.
It's a good time.
It is a lot of fun. And there's some really fun people who are registered for it. Yep. So you may find your next best knitting buddy on the bus.
Absolutely.
Because it is, you know, it's about 3.5, 4 hours down. And then obviously the same back up. So there's lots of on-bus knitting time. And yeah, it's a lot of fun.
It'll be fun.
Yeah.
So we have one of our multiple knit-alongs came to an end.
Yes, it did.
Just about an hour ago. No.
When Angela closed the thread.
I locked the thread this morning. So our multicolor summer shawl along, which has been running since June. We closed that thread, and we decided to draw a prize out of the chatter thread, and we decided to draw a prize out of the finished object thread. So we had 60 entries in the finished objects thread, and there were some spectacular shawls in there that you guys finished. So I'm going to start with our chatter thread. One of the designers, so she's Calibus on Ravelry, and she's Greta and the Bear on Instagram. Kristen has generously donated. She donated a copy of her Winter Lake shawl. We did a giveaway for that a month or so ago, but she donated a second pattern. So she's just released a shawl pattern called the Marshmallow Brioche shawl. So it is brioche. You know, I took a look at the pattern. It's very well written, very great instructions. So we thought this would be great to give out of the shawl along the chatter thread. So we had like 170 entries in the chatter thread, lots of participation, lots of people chattering back and forth. Which is fun. So much fun.
We love that you guys, you know, participate and kind of chit chat with each other, because that's the point of a knit along, right? It's just kind of having fun with it. And
yeah, absolutely. And so our winner, I think that was I think it was number 150.
Yes, that's right. It was. Yep. It was post 150.
And that person is Coop Woolly. So it's Coop-Woolly. And that is Carolyn from Belgium.
Yeah.
So, Carolyn, we will let Kristen know that you are the winner, and let us know for some reason if that doesn't make it into your library, but Kristen's pretty good.
And thanks for chit-chatting with us.
Thank you for chit-chatting. This is fantastic.
I know, that's awesome.
Yeah. And so then we also pulled a prize from our finished objects thread.
Yep.
And our finished objects thread are a couple prizes, are a couple things from sort of my stash. I found some more this morning, guys.
That's so pretty.
So this is some Knit Picks yarn, and it's a lace weight yarn, so 2 skeins of a lace weight. It's 70% baby alpaca, 30% silk. So each skein is 440 yards. It is so soft. It is so soft. So these 2 skeins and this really cool sheep cookie stitch progress keeper from Suker Miniatures is going to go home to post number 13, which is 3 Red Dogs. Summer from Richmond, Virginia. Yay, Summer. And if you haven't gone out and taken a look at her post and her finished object, Kelly's got it pulled up. Kelly's got it pulled up.
It's so pretty. She did the suburban wrap.
Yeah.
You guys.
So beautiful.
Look at that. Isn't that pretty? I love her color choices she used. So it's really, really lovely. But I mean, a lot of you had some really gorgeous.
Yeah. So beautiful.
Really gorgeous things out there.
So congratulations, Kristen. Congratulations, Summer. I don't know. It's apparently time for me to sign off. My brain just is bleh, bleh.
I know.
Congratulations, Summer. I would say please send us your address. I'm pretty sure we have your address.
I think we do.
Why don't you send us your address just so we know you've seen it, so this random package doesn't just show up in the mail and you're like, what is this? Because that would be funny, though. Why did I get this yarn?
It's like, yeah, magic yarn.
Yeah. So just drop us a line. Let us know you've seen the podcast. Well, I'm pretty sure we have her address. Okay.
As long as it's the same Summer that I'm thinking it is, I'm pretty sure it is.
Why don't you send us your address just in case? We're pretty sure. But we don't want your yarn to go somewhere else.
Right.
Because that would be funny.
Or at least let us know that your address is the same as the one that we still have.
Yeah. Anyway.
Just send us a message.
Just let us know. That's fine. 2 other knit-alongs wrapping up in the next week or so. So probably we'll deal with both of those knit-alongs not next week, but the week after. Because next week's going to be the Q&A session that we're going to pre-tape because I'm not available next week for an actual real podcast on Thursday. So we're just going to bring you a special edition episode.
Yeah. Which is going to be fun. That's going to be fun.
It's going to be super
fun to go
fun.
through and answer all those questions.
Of course, I started with like, Kelly, I'm coming to your house on Sunday, whether you knew I was coming or not. And she just starts laughing. She's like, yeah, I knew you were coming over.
Sounds about right.
Sounds about right. Just show up on my doorstep. We've got the Mitten Tree knit along that's starting October 1st. Whips are allowed. It's going to be our charity project for the month of October and November. I am going to set up a bucket of donated yarn. So if you are local and you have some yarn you want to donate for this project, bring it in. I have my own set of yarn that I'm going to donate in. Probably what I would ask is that the yarn go into like a Ziploc bag with as much information as you have about it, like size, what weight of yarn it is, like how much is on the skein, what the fiber content is if you know it. That's what I'm going to try to do with mine. So that should hopefully be available next week, ahead of the start of the knit along.
Yeah.
So we've got a couple of shout outs.
We do.
Yeah.
So hi Becky. I got to catch up with Becky again at the Webs retreat, and she's great, and she's coming to our retreat.
So exciting.
She's so sweet, and yeah, she's really great. So I'm looking forward to being able to see her again in March.
Yes.
That'll be awesome.
Excellent.
And sadly, I was not in the store yesterday when we had a lovely couple stop by, and they're all the way from Nebraska, and they were, I guess, they're going to be in Maine, or they were in Maine, and just were here for a day. So I didn't get to catch them, but we just want to say hi to Kim and Jeff from Nebraska. Thank you so much for stopping in, and we're sorry we missed you, but hopefully we can catch up with you somewhere along the way if you're back on the East Coast.
Minimum on social media or one of those formats.
Definitely. Yeah.
Nice.
I know. It's so fun when we get to meet people.
Yeah. I'm so excited for Rhinebeck.
Rhinebeck is fun. That's like
super fun.
Most of the reason that I enjoy going now is just to chit chat and connect with people that you only get to see at festivals usually, or retreats on occasion. You get to catch up with them too, but usually it's the same festival each year. But then you like talk all year long on like Instagram or Ravelry or something, and then it's like, oh yeah, and it's fun, and it's also fun when we meet people that we have only conversed with online, and putting like real faces with names, even if it's like, you know, a Ravelry name or something. It's like, oh, okay, now it makes sense. I know who you are.
I still remember last year in the Gail's Art line, Cindy, who's Wow Skunk. She was like, "You're not supposed to be here," because I wasn't supposed to be there.
Right.
Surprise!
Right, because Angela on a stick was.
Yeah, so that was fun. It was nice to meet people.
Yeah, it was.
And she's coming to the retreat too.
Yes, she is. Yeah. I know, it's oh my gosh, like so many fun people are coming.
Excited.
We are gonna have the best time.
Shenanigans. It's just gonna be a weekend of shenanigans.
It seriously is.
Yep.
Yeah.
I can't wait.
So if you want to come and you haven't signed up yet,
sign up. Come join us
soon, because I think that tickets are gonna continue to go pretty quickly.
Yep. I think so too.
So.
All right. Well, I have to run.
Yes, you do. Yes. So we're going to wrap it up. I don't really have anything else anyway. I blabbed on long enough about all this stuff, and Ange and I are going to get together this weekend and do our Q&A session so that you'll have an episode next week.
Yep.
And so with all that fun stuff said, you'll have a few outtakes here in a couple minutes or seconds if you hang around. Otherwise, you'll see our Q&A next week, and then in 2 weeks, we'll have another podcast for you.
We'll be back with a regular podcast.
Yep.
So, till then.
Bye.
Okay. I think it's funny that we do all this, like, primping and whatnot, and that we just include all of it in the end and outtakes anyways.
I know, we're like,
it's like, no, is our hair good? And it's not like, you know, we're having any giant mystery on the podcast. It's like, because it all gets thrown in at the end.
In my teeth.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's how we roll. Yo.
It is how we roll. Rolling.
Not to be too crinkly over here.
I know, because the microphone picks up everything.
I know, the little clickety-clacking of our needles.
You can hear the clickety-clacking of the nails. You can hear me snap correcting my dog very loudly.
I know.
Oh, that was bad. You could, when my phone vibrated a couple weeks ago, you could hear
Could you really?
You could hear the
That's really funny.
Yep. I know. Super fun. But the sound quality is amazing with this microphone. Now that apparently I know how to use it.
Sweet.
Who knew the iPad needed to be in airplane mode?
Well, you know.
It didn't come with directions that said put your iPad in airplane mode.
I was just having some interference.
Totally having interference issues.
It was just protesting and, you know.
Yeah. So, anyway. Good for all of you guys, because now you can hear us. whether you want to or not. That was an evil laugh.
It was kind of evil.
And look.
You'll see it in the other section of outtakes.
It's a meerkat.
Sticking out of my large pocket.
Stay tuned for what shenanigans are coming with a card-sized photo of a meerkat.
I wonder.
What could we be up to? No idea.
None at all.
Nothing. We decided that Pocket Kelly and Pocket Ange was probably too creepy.
Pocket meerkat's acceptable, though.
And somebody suggested Pocket Meerkat, and I went, oh, they're so right. So, I do like many things. I ran with it. So stay tuned. We, actually, you know what? Actually, the outtakes is a great spot to talk about this. Yeah. So what we're going to do is...
Because that's where meerkat kind of...
This is where it originated in the outtakes. So what's going to happen is we're going to figure out a way to get these on a card, either like a credit card kind of card or like some sort of laminated card. And so the picture of the meerkat's going to be on the front, and then on the back we're going to have some information about a game that I think we would be fun to play with on Instagram with some hashtags, and then randomly throughout the year,
meerkat.
It's going to involve randomly inserting meerkat into pictures
into your life,
and
prizes,
tagging it with a hashtag, which I think is probably going to be MLY meerkat. And then Kelly and I will follow that hashtag, and like randomly we'll just draw some prizes from the hashtag. Because why not? Because it's hilarious.
It is.
So whatever final design we come up with,
make sure you find us and get a meerkat.
Find us. If I can get my act together, Kelly might have some at Vermont Sheep and Wool next weekend when she's there on Sunday. I'm not making any promises.
Depends on what format we decide to take meerkat in.
Yes, but we will for sure have them at Rhinebeck with us, and Needles Up, and all of the other fun events that we're going to that weekend. So come find us for a goodie pack that's going to include your pocket meerkat. I'm so excited. Yes, there's been some very interesting phone calls I've had with people who provide me with some of these things. Most of them know me well enough that they just laugh and think it's hysterical. So,
yeah.
Because, of course, I am required to give them entire backstory of why I'm doing this, which is part of what...
You want to what?
Yeah, well, one of the people I had to call was my friend Jane, because she's the one that got the picture for us from Big Stock. And so I'm like trying to give her the story, like the backstory, but I'm laughing. And so then she starts laughing. And then she's like, I love it. That's brilliant.
That's really funny.
Yeah, I thought so too. Because you can't just call somebody and be like, can you give me a picture of a meerkat without more, right? I mean, I suppose you could, but...
Yeah, because we have to deal with, like, getting the appropriate copyright.
Yeah, so we have paid for this photo. This is...
From a stock photo
From a stock photo place, so we can use this however we would like.
I should have checked, like... From when we went to like Disney Animal Kingdom or something, I might have had one.
Your own meerkat picture. This one was good because he's sitting on that little stump. So there was some funny ones. Like meerkats kind of lounge sometimes, like really loungy with like a really giant belly, and I was like, that's fun too. Meerkat ate too much cake.
I know. Can you imagine like we could like superimpose a little piece of cake? That would be really funny. Or donuts or something.
No. I already bought that one.
Okay. I should go back. I'll look back through my pictures and see if I have any lounging ones.
Well, maybe we'll have 2 varieties of meerkat, pocket meerkats, and people can choose. I don't know. We'll see. But at a minimum, we have one of this cute little guy. So. All right, we should probably get this show on the road.
Yeah, we should.
Because we got a lot of stuff to talk about, and I got to leave at 4.
Right. So we got to cram it in.
We got to cram. Talk fast.
Cram. Okay.
No chit-chatty. No.
Okay.
Just kidding.
No talking about the weather.
Yeah, it's weird. Okay.
It's weird. That's all we'll say.
It's weird.
Done. Okay, we got weather covered.
Weather, check. How was your AccuForce weather with Angela and Kelly? It's weird. All right, we ready?
We're ready.
We're ready.
Yep.
All still.
Okay.
Whoa. Whoa.
I know. I'm doing the short row shaping.
Look. Oh, you're off camera.
A pocket.
Be pocket meerkat.
I know. If I wore this Rhinebeck, I can tuck him in my pocket.
Tuck it in your pockets.
Right.
He could just hang out like that.
Right. Wouldn't that be hilarious?
Just peek out.
Meerkat.
That's the funniest.
That's the best.
That's awesome.
I know, I probably can't work on this during the podcast because I've got to concentrate on my short rows.
Oh, yeah. I know. I don't know.
Okay.
I think both of these, this one's on a cable, this one's on a cable row. So I'm not going to be able to work on that. The other one's a color work, so I'm not going to be able to work on that. I probably should just bust out Worsted Boxy because it's hanging out in there. I worked on that in ages. But, nope. Look, I have repurposed.
Baby socks? Little socks?
Yeah, but these were those,
oh, yeah.
the
from
shorty
that sock
socks.
blank?
Yeah, from the leftover sock blank that weren't going to be long enough. So
You decide to pull it?
I decided to pull it and donate the yarn to the wee one.
Excellent.
So, yep. So I guess I will work on these because
I'm going to work on this. If I can get it untangled.
what's that?
This is a really cool thing from one of my classes. And I'm going to knot myself into a million knots. There we go. Look at this yarn. This is her yarn. It's lovely.
That's beautiful.
It's wool, silk, and cashmere.
Whoa.
And this is the fingering weight, and this is the worsted weight. And it is just...
Whoa. What?
Look at that. What? Isn't that awesome?
That is awesome.
So this is a half argyle, and you can do a full argyle.
That's awesome.
Isn't that cool?
That's amazing.
I know. And this is the same kind of idea. There's the argyle up at the top, and then this is the checkerboard just stacked.
That's amazing.
Isn't that fun? It was really fun. Yeah, so that's the scarf. I'm doing this. And she had one made up like this, but so this portion that I'm doing is 3-color. So for mine, the green is going to be very defined stack, and then there's a blue and a turquoise, and they're going to be alternating.
Okay.
But the in-between color, where she just used kind of a semi-solid gray, I'm using a 4-color, and so these are going to make smaller stacks in between.
Interesting.
And she had one done up that way, and it was so pretty. So
Cool.
I know, it's really fun.
That's fun.
It's really fun, and it doesn't take a whole lot of brain power.
That's...
You have to pay attention a bit, but
some days that's good.
yeah, it's more about just making sure when you get to your section, like see there's stitch markers in here, that your colors are kind of ending where you need them to.
Oh, okay.
So that you get, fairly even stacks. So.
Cool. That's fun. Super fun.
Yep.
All right, I'm going to stop this real quick and make sure the microphone is working.
Okay.
Because I don't trust it at all still.
Yeah.
It has earned my distrust. And of course...